Hi, my name is Bob Taylor. I'm here today with my guest, Chrissy Ackel from KidStream. Good afternoon, Chrissy.
Good afternoon, Bob.
Okay, KidStream. What is KidStream?
KidStream is an emerging children's museum in Ventura County. The name itself stands for kids, obviously, and stream, science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and math. Okay. And our mission is to create an engaging environment where children can explore, play, and discover, hopefully for children and families to eventually become empowered, to become critical thinkers, innovators, and lifelong learners.
Okay, now, you said some things there that just don't resonate right with me. You say museum, I think of old things you can't touch. I mean, so you say a kids museum for discovery and those kind of things. It's kind of like one of those oxymorons almost.
You know, it's a really hard thing to overcome in a lot of people's minds, but it's a very thriving economy and market of children's museums. In fact, one of the biggest ones in our area, KidSpace down in Pasadena, is one in which we have their CEO, Michael Shanklin, came over to Camarillo and is one of our biggest champions of our effort. The name Children's Museum is really hard for a lot of people to separate themselves from because it's a please touch museum, not a do not touch museum. It's about loose parts and open minds and exploratory play. Really, it's a place for informal educational opportunities for children and families, really to play together.
Okay, now, the first thing that pops into my head when you think those things and I can't get it out is moving pieces, people losing parts. I mean, how does a museum operate with moving pieces?
Well, staff and volunteers.
Okay.
And ideally, that's what play should be. Play should be a place where children can change the environment. If they go to a place where they can't,
when you said that.
It's true. And if they go to a place where they can't pull things off the shelf, or if they can't, it's a place where children should be free to be children, and really teaching them a huge amount of empathy, because they're able to step into the shoes of the grown-ups that they know and love. And let's say, for instance, in our concept that we have right now for the Children's Museum, I'll call it KidStream if Children's Museum is too hard to overcome.
Yeah, KidStream is great.
But one of the ideas that we have is that we'd have places where we'd have a small farmer's market or grocery store. We'd have places for children to step in and play act the motions of what they see their parents or caregivers doing. So it's a really neat place for children to go and develop social skills and empathy. We plan to have, in addition to that, obviously, all of those aspects of STREAM, so science, technology, reading, engineering, arts, and math, heavily prevalent throughout every exhibit. And exhibit is a museum word, but every interactive gallery space throughout
okay, now,
the museum.
Some of it sounds museum-ish, and some of it almost sounds like daycare on steroids. Because the kids are playing.
Sure. Well, it's different than, for instance, a pay-to-play place, which serve a very solid purpose for families, in that we don't want parents to be on the sidelines. What the idea
is you can't just dump your kids.
Oh, no.
Right.
No. In fact, it's a place, ideally, I know when my family personally, when we go to children's museums, it's amazing how quickly you become engaged in trying to solve a problem or a puzzle or build something with your children. It's a hugely interactive space. That being said, the specific site that we're looking at right now, it's a wonderful open space where families, let's say families, like in my case, I have 3 children, I can go and park with the youngest and try to, make sure that they're fine, and let the older 2 run into the climber and know that they're going to be safe, that there's a safe level of exploration and risk that they're taking.
Okay, so how long have you been looking for a place to do this?
About 3 years now.
Okay, so this has been an ongoing project, looking at property and everything else.
Yes.
Okay, where is the spot that you found that is going to work best for Ventura County?
We believe that Camarillo is centrally located, and the city is very, very amenable to having us look at what is a former library.
The old library.
Yeah, the old library.
That would be a great thing for that spot in Camarillo. You and I know Camarillo a little better because we're from Camarillo, but that would be a great spot for the county
Oh, yeah.
Anybody from the county can get to it real easy.
Exactly. It's highly accessible. We think that Camarillo is ideal in the sense that it's highly accessible for people coming down the grade, for people coming in off of the, even off the 126, thinking off the 101, coming in from the Oxnard Plains.
Okay.
It's highly accessible, and it's, do you want me to talk about the site a little bit?
Yeah.
It's about a 16,000 square foot building,
Okay.
and that's about 10,000 to 11,000 of those square feet are going to be indoor exhibit space, including the climber and water play. And outside, we have about 19,000 square feet reserved for an enclosed outdoor play space for the children of Camarillo. And for the children of Ventura County. The one thing that's really significant about this specific museum is that when any family goes in there, they know right away that they're in Ventura County. We want to reflect the rich resources and all of the natural resources and economy of Ventura County.
Okay, now, since there's going to be so much going outside, that's not going to affect rain days. I mean, you're still going to be open on rainy time.
Sure.
The kids just can't play outside on rain time.
Well, I mean, truth be told, the climate of Southern California and coastal Southern California.
We still play out in the rain.
Yeah, and it's pretty open to having an outdoor play space. In fact, some of the earlier locations that we looked at were warehouse spaces. And we found a few that would actually be great temporary locations, or even permanent locations, depending upon how things work out with the library. But we really feel strongly that we need to have a space in this climate for children to play outside.
Well, you have all that parking, and you have all that outdoor area around there that all comes with the property. And you're right next door to the Boys and Girls Club.
Absolutely.
You couldn't possibly ask for really a better location for a kid or a child project, shall we say.
Absolutely.
Okay, now you've been working on this for 3 years.
Yes.
What kicked it in? What started it?
About, I'd say 3.5 years ago, I was driving home from Kidspace, ironically, for this to come full
So you
circle.
drove all the way down to Pasadena.
I did. I do.
For the museum for your kids.
Yes.
Well, it's got to be something. I've never been to one, of course. I mean, I could see the gleam in your eye when you're talking about it. I've never seen one, so I don't know what happens.
It's phenomenal because what you do is, and my background's in education, is specifically in science education, so I feel really passionately about early exposure to STEM. And when I first started having children, that was one thing that became clear right away. We live in a county with 800,000 people, and we have had a children's museum, and sadly that's closed. But what we really...
We had one kind of like what you're doing?
No, it was a much smaller space, and we actually have a few of the board members from Goldwings on our board. Okay. But what we really needed was a destination-worthy children's museum, and what we've created, we believe, is that. What I was driving home, and I had all 3 children napping, and thought to myself, why am I driving an hour and a half to go to a children's museum? Since they were napping, I started calling. I started with cities.
I hope you have a hands-free phone in your car.
I do, but at that time I think it was earbuds. But I started calling. Cities. I called the universities. I called around to see who had already started something like this, because I really knew it was going to be a big project. In my gut, in my heart, I knew this. But
and it's something you can't do alone.
You can't do alone. So we have a huge group of people now. We started off as a grassroots group of like-minded individuals, and we still are those people, but we're making the big, gigantic leap into an official board of directors, and we have a large group of volunteers and community groups who are behind us 100%. We had, I think, about 120 or so parents and grandparents and children write letters to the city to appeal that we would have this opportunity to bring this before the whole county. So it was a really wonderful thing, and that's kind of the charge that even when we presented before the city council in order to secure the site, one of the things that they told us was, this is a countywide project. This is a big project, and it's going to benefit all of the children of Ventura County.
One thing I always like to talk to people about with nonprofits, I mean, we have over 4,000 in Ventura County alone.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, over 4,000 nonprofits. So it's really kind of hard to distinguish one that's totally different from the rest? You know, 'cause we have at least 5 nonprofits collecting money for PTSD dogs. Of course, everyone has a different way of doing things. So, I mean, they're all necessary, don't get me wrong, I'm not doing anything wrong there. But you don't have anybody to really collaborate with in the way of other nonprofits that are working on this kind of thing, do you?
You know, it's very interesting that you say that. In terms of our mission and vision, there's enough overlap that I think we have enthusiastic community partners.
Oh, you do have that.
We do. In fact, we're right now working with Studio Channel Islands and
Are they great or
a few
what?
other groups. Yeah, I know Cal State Channel Islands has had students who have been hugely supportive in volunteering and organizing fundraisers for us. One thing that really stands out as a unique thing about our nonprofit is, and this has been told to us by one of the outside consultants we brought in to help us, you know, move this project forward, is that there are many, many wonderful nonprofits in Ventura County, and this is one that's truly fun. Even though, and we know that, it kind of separates it a little bit from some of the others in terms of need.
Right.
There is a need, though.
No, you're definitely right.
Yeah,
you're definitely right.
But it's a fun project, and one of the things that actually really shifted focus for me during this journey, you know, I told you about, you know, when I started calling and saying, who's
Right.
already working on a children's museum? And eventually, I was really in a hurry because I thought, I really want to do this for my kids, and the whole focus has shifted. It's, even though I would love for my kids to enjoy this is not about my kids. This is about all of the kids of Ventura County.
It gets away from you as you get involved with projects and
Yeah.
how good or how well it can do in the whole county and what you're working on. We're running low on time, but
Yeah,
I
sure.
have 2 questions.
Sure.
Number one, you've already mentioned hundreds of kids writing here and hundreds of parents. At this point, how many volunteers do you think you have touched you? Not that you have necessarily talked to, but have touched you guys in one way or another, counting the kids, parents, people on the board, people that have donated, and all of that. How many volunteers do you think?
Over 100. I would say in the hundreds, and I don't know exactly what the number is, because if you go by all of those, you know, they're not necessarily people that are going to be out, you know, making giant bubbles with us at fairs, but that's one of the things that we do for outreach. But writing letters, I'd say, yeah, a few hundred. But in order to really drive this home, we're going to need volunteers in the thousands. I mean, it's going to have to be truly a community-wide project for all of the children of Ventura County and beyond.
Okay, now we're just about out of time. Is there anything, one thing for sure.
Yeah.
How do people contact you if they want to get involved?
I would say that they should go to the Kidstream website. It's kidstream.org, KIDSTREAM.org. And there's even an email contact. If you click on any of the board members, you can contact us directly.
So they could just Google Kidstream and it would pop up, probably number one thing.
It should be. We hope it is.
Right.
Yeah, if they go kidstream.org, because we're a nonprofit, and it should be easy to find there. Go on
now,
Facebook too.
Anything we didn't touch on that you want to get out to anybody?
I think that there's going to be plenty more to come. I know that, but
Well, I'm really hoping that you'll come back in not too long of a period of time and
I'd be
keep us
honored.
updated on what's going on.
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for being here with us today, Chrissy.
Thank you, Bob.
My name is Bob Taylor. I've been here today with my guest, Chrissy Ackle from Kidstream. Until next time, thank you very much.